Okay, I know this isn't the best screen, and when I actually download it for the Facebook, or I mean my YouTube channel, it's going to be the horizontal. I mean, it's not going to be horizontal, but whatever. So I'm live, a few minutes late, jumping on here. So I thought today, because this is one of the things I want to do about, is just be able to react real quickly to things that happen instead of waiting. But this is the official time slot that I'm going to be using for the podcast. I will get a better setup to where I'm not holding my phone or whatever. But anyway, so I kind of want to talk about what's happening in Spain within the last 72 hours or whatever. So back in January, the president of Spain put a law that says if you've been in our country illegally for 5 months, then we're going to give you amnesty. You're going to become, you can become a citizen and all that. And then they said, and we will not turn away, we'll allow any immigrant that swims here. So Morocco is very close to Spain, and you can actually swim from, there's like a border that's on the water, but you can actually swim right around that little border right in there. So when people say they swam from Morocco and they swam from another country, what they were doing is they were taking a boat to this other part of Spain or whatever, and then going around. So you'd have to look at the map. It's kind of weird, but anyway, that's how they were coming over, and they were actually carrying bicycles. How are you swimming from Morocco all the way across that little sea divide? But anyway, so they get there, and first it was, as reports were coming in, 20,000 of them came in. Then it was 50, and now some people are saying it's around under 100,000 came in to a town called Ceuta, I think it's called, which the population of that town is 80,000. So you're looking at, and even if you say, okay, it's 60,000, that's still, and that's what they were saying, it's like 70%, it's more than 70% of the population of that town that's being invaded. So they came across, and they just immediately, they're refugees. So if they swim, they automatically become, whatever the law is over there. I could be wrong, but basically they're given amnesty if they swim there from the sea. So they're there, and they're just running. It's primarily men, like young adult to middle-aged men. People say that they didn't see any women or children coming over. And this is coming from Morocco, which is 99% Muslim. So that's what is coming over to Spain, is that kind of culture, which I think there's like 13 countries that have been invaded by Muslim religion and then changed over the whole entire country to Muslim rule. So that's where it's kind of like, yeah, let's hit some of these smaller, countries or whatever, and then we'll just take them over attitude, conquering them. But so anyway, they get there, and again, I can't see the chat or anything like this, so I'll respond afterwards. But so my thing is, even if it's the 5-month thing, right? So if they get there, all they have to do is go next month and say, I've been here since November of last year. I want legal status. No one knows because they went in there illegally. So they could do. But, so that's a problem right there. It's just basically unchecked illegal migration that's happening. It's a takeover. It's an invasion, whatever you want to call it. But then you have... also, I heard that, so the military, the police couldn't handle it. Obviously, the military had to step in. Spain sent the military to this town and, or city, whatever you want to call it. And then 25,000 have been already returned back to Morocco. They volunteered to go back. So whatever reason, they just volunteered to go back, which is great. Okay. That's good. I know in our country, Trump said, hey, we'll, if you volunteer to go back, we'll pay for you to go back, and you'll get like preferred status when you come back legally. So I don't know if that was the kind of situation that they had in Spain, but It's basically a crisis that's going on in Spain. So some have went back, but here's what happened. So they all run through, and then the resources, the free stuff, all the agencies that are all gone money, or all gone with the resources, water, food, whatever. Temporary shelters are just non-existent. So they all think, well, we might as well, we're hungry, so we're just going to rob all the stores. So they break into all the neighboring stores. There's video of this all over. If you just type in Spain invasion and just start looking through the footage. I put 2 things on my channel. You can watch those. 2 different other content creators have did something, and I'm not claiming that I'm a content creator or nothing like that right now at all. Probably won't ever be like them, but they're very professional and polished and all that. But anyway, so they break into there. Then they need a car. So they start breaking cars and stealing cars. And if they can't do anything, they set them on fire. So there's trash, there's looting, there's cars on fire. And then they think, well, we don't have a place to stay. So they've actually been going into the neighborhoods and kicking people out of their own homes and staying in their homes. So that's crazy. And then also some of the townspeople were going to confront the migrants that are coming in. And the police were stopping the citizens from getting involved because we're busy dealing with this. We don't want you to escalate things. Meanwhile, they're in the background where this is happening, where they're stopping this woman from going and challenging them. They're in the background, they're looting and they're breaking into stores. It's like, yeah, you have a problem. Maybe you need some help from some of the citizens, right? And then about the houses being broken into. My opinion is that's why we have the Second Amendment in our country, right? Because if this happened, and if I was in a border town or something like that, and the same scenario happened, and they were just looking for homes to break into, yeah, they're gonna meet some force, and then they won't come back to that one no more. Because really, they don't want confrontation. They want the ease of use of being able to break in and do whatever. So, one person gets shot over there. It's not like there's thousands of other homes that we can try to break into. So then there's other things I'm probably forgetting that I was going to mention. But another sad thing is that there was a woman. She's been videotaped. A young woman. Like I don't know how old she was. Some people said she was a teenager, Spanish girl, and then she's waving at them as they're all running past her, and she's raving and giving them high fives, and 2 of them stop at her, and they say, hey, we're really hungry. Can you show us where we can eat? And she said, sure. So she went with them to show them where they can eat, and now she's not been heard since. So she went to the police. And they said, well, obviously, we don't know where she's at, but you're not long enough time has passed where you can say she's missing. Then that time passed, and she made a missing persons report because she hasn't been seen or heard of or nothing. Can't get her on the phone, nothing like that, right? And she went to the police and said, okay, what are you going to do, right? Are we going to track her phone? Are we going to do this? Are we going to do this? And they said, we are too busy with this influx of illegal migration to help you right now. We're dealing with the migrants, which is a way bigger problem that we're dealing with. So we'll get to your missing daughter after. So again, she is just sitting there so happy when they're waving, and she's waving at them and high-fiving them and stuff. And 2 of them did God knows what, right? And I mean, yeah, you could say personal protection. Maybe if she had something like that, a taser, anything to start to deter them. But it doesn't look like she was worried about that at all. She was open, just right there. You can go online and look at it. There's several different videos and different creators are talking about it. So again, that is just very, very. It's crazy. And then I seen somebody put on Facebook or on Instagram, they showed them running in and how like they ran through the border and they're all running in and they're all that age group, military men. Oh, one more thing. When someone was filming, the guy runs up to the phone and says Allah Akbar, whatever, And it's like, they're bringing their Muslim beliefs into this country, where we know there's a lot, of the Sharia law thing is really bad for a country that's been, conquered or whatever, for the women there, especially. But so what was I saying? Oh, so he showed that video of them running through the barrier and running into the country unchecked, nobody stopping them, police not present. And then it showed America during the previous administration, right? There was a time when Biden had said, just, come here, just keep coming. And we had several different convoys of people coming in and all this. But it showed the same thing when our border patrol was overrun by the amount of people coming in at that time in that location, that they just basically were just knocked down and they had to just scoot out of the way. They couldn't even stop. And it looked the same. The scene looked the same. Now, I was thinking about it, and is there someone said something? Oh, I see this and I'm like, we as a country are way bigger than Spain or that small town. Now, whether or not where it happened in America was a small town or not, we have greater resources, I guess you could say. So we could absorb, and that's a sad way to say it, we can absorb a greater number of illegal immigration or immigrants coming in at one time. But yet we were still overrun in that part of the border. So it's just really sad. And Spain declared a state of emergency. And then Italy, come to find out, Italy closed its borders with Spain because of this. So even they're realizing, Italy's like, wait, they're just going to keep coming around different areas, right? So now they're talking, so Italy closed their border with Spain, and then now they're thinking about putting some kind of buoy system in the water where they got through or swam around, and then some kind of buoy barrier they're talking about doing. Maybe that should have been done before January, when they said just anybody coming in, basically gave a free path to citizenship in that country. It's pretty sad. But that is the main focus that I was going to talk about today, was that, because that's been all over the news, and over the course of days, and I'll probably do a little update, something like this, just randomly. And I'm going to take these videos and put them on my YouTube channel. I do have a YouTube channel. It's called The Common American Podcast. So if you want to look at it there, I have a few videos. I have my very first video when Eatonville was doing its, we ventured into the small town of Eatonville to watch their parade. And so, yeah. But it's pretty cool. They had a 4th of July parade. So, yeah. So that was my first video. And then I have a couple other little things I made with AI. But nothing big on that. What I'll probably end up doing is just being more active on social media, really coming up with questions that I want people to think about. And they can put the answer in the chats. That would be great. But that's what I'm going to go and do in the future. I know this is just short. I know somebody had mentioned talking about Social Security a little bit. So I'll just get on that a little bit. I know that every couple of years, every generation, every decade or whatever, they talk about Social Security being dried up and not being able to help the people that are like the baby boomers are dying off, and the amount of people with the money that's being used up now is going to be dwindling, because less and less people are putting into the big pot, I guess is the way it is. And it was brought to my attention that that's happening probably in the next 15, 20 years. Congress is going to have to do something to figure it out. One thing, when I was doing like a little small dive into this, is that more taxpayer money is going to have to help fund Social Security, which is okay to a point, because we all put into Social Security. And then if you you're old enough you can draw from it. So like we're all putting in and we're all withdrawing. It's not like one person. It's not like saying, take my tax money and just give it to, 5% of the population. Like, yeah, take everybody's 100% taxpayer money and give it to 5% of the population for whatever it is, right? That's not right. I don't think. But so whatever it is, something's going to happen with Social Security. It's going to be interesting. Another way they said is they may decrease the amount that people are getting if it comes down to it, where funds might dry up. They might decrease it for about 20% is what it said. So that's interesting in itself. Yeah, because then I guess people currently on it, or are they going to say going forward you get less money for Social Security? Now I'm on disability Social Security, which will convert over to traditional, and what I'm told that I'm probably going to get less when that happens. So I guess we'll see. It's 62. I'm a few years away from that, but I mean not that many. The way time goes, very very quickly. But I don't know. We'll see. I might talk about that in more depth, maybe in the middle of the week when I can do more research. But this was just brought to my attention yesterday. Non-related to that question that was brought up to me, I do want to point out my mom did send me this America 250 hat, and one of my friends, Rolo, he apparently got me a shirt, basically to go with this, from a small business owner, that's here in Washington State. So I like to see that. And he makes them on demand if they don't have the right size or emblem that you like. And I don't know his information. I didn't want to give that out, but if it does come up, and then I'm allowed to share that info, then I'll do so on the page here. And that way I can give them credit. Maybe you can call them or find out when they're there next, or the next place they set up shop. I guess he's been at the Eatonville 3rd of July celebration as a vendor before. And it's funny because a couple of years ago, I'm not sure how many or whatever, but me and my wife were there, and we actually stopped by this shirt vendor, and they had a shirt, and we bought a shirt, a We the People shirt. So so it could have been him. I don't even know. But yeah, so a small business in Washington, and just want to make sure I can give him a shout out, or the company a shout out, whoever's involved in it. I don't know, without being able, I need to set up my tablet right next to me with the feed going on in case there's any. I don't think there's anybody watching actually, except for maybe my wife. So is that right? How many people I got? One?
Just me.
Yeah. Right now it's just, so it's just her. So that's more important, more of a reason for me to download this and put it up on Facebook or share it afterwards, something like that. But yeah, so I'll just make this short until I can get my my YouTube set up. I do need some more subscribers so I can go live on YouTube. That's kind of where I want to that's my goal right now, is to be able to set up my laptop and just hit record and then, or go live and then be able to go live. So I'd appreciate you guys, anybody on here that's watching or that will watch in the future, this particular broadcast or this, talk, to go over there and follow there. 'Cause that's where I'm going to be putting, maybe I'm going to make some shorts and things. I'm not sure how it will work with me just rambling, where there's nobody else talking back and forth, how the shorts will come out. But I hope it comes out good. And I think that's it. And so every Saturday I'll jump on here for sure, but I will do it impromptu during the week, and my lives will get longer and more polished when I prepare a little bit better. But also you can catch me tomorrow, 2 p.m. Pacific and 5 p.m. Eastern, on the Tri Virtual Roundtable podcast, which has the three of us on there. Mr. Harmony and Doc are also on there. So I'll be on there at 2 o'clock tomorrow, and we are talking a few different things. We're talking about AI jobs, like what is AI going to do with our jobs and things like that. And then there's a couple other things that deal with AI and data centers. You know, are they good or bad? I think there's a moratorium or whatever they call it. They're trying to block many data centers. And the question is like, wait a minute, I understand it takes a lot of electricity, but these companies are also willing to like help build an infrastructure for their power. And also one of them was like, we'll even lower by building this power thing for us is going to lower the electricity costs for the neighboring town or whatever. But so you got both sides. Some they're like, "Hey, we'll do whatever we need to do, but we can't fall behind on AI as a country. Like it's just growing too fast, you know." But I was talking to my mom earlier about AI and how like they've already done it in there's several locations, different businesses. There's a burger place that I've seen, and you go up and you order. And it's AI. You can either order on the app or talk to the microphone. It just, you flashes what you ordered. You make payment there. You go up there. A robot actually hands you the food. Like everything's automatic inside there. They have a patty machine that will just take out the frozen patties and stuff like that. It even had a freezer door that was opened by another robot, and it grabs stacks of patties out. So it's crazy. Now I think there's probably somebody inside just to make sure nothing goes wrong, right? But still, you have let's say a McDonald's that has 20 employees, you know, maybe 8 of them working currently, or 8 to 10 or whatever. You're going to take that down to one person. And then you're going to have maintenance people come in and just maintain the equipment. That's crazy. And then I saw a pizza place that does it. And I've seen pizza delivered by, I should wait to talk about this tomorrow, but I have seen a pizza delivery robot, a little car, a neighborhood one that actually will drive along the road and stop. And then it says your order's outside. And then the person comes outside with a code, opens it up, and lifts it up. The hot pizza's in there. They take it out and then they go on their way. But then also I heard that one neighborhood stopped it and started beating into it and broke it, the stamp mill, and then took the pizza out of it. Like, you did all that destruction for some pizza that's in there. Like, you cost this company, which is trying to innovate with technology, and you took this and you destroyed it. You know, 20,000, whatever. Oh, I think I got a violation. I think that's what it just popped up. I think I said a word that I can't use on live. I think I know. But anyway, yeah, I gotta be careful words I use. It just flapped up on my screen here. A big red thing that said something. I couldn't see it. But anyway, and then there was also, I gotta be careful with this one. There was a delivery drone that was hovering over someone's house that wasn't the right address, but it was hovering. And the guy came out with a pew-pew and he took aimed it and, you know, did what the machine does that they're holding into the air and shot it. And it kind of limped off or whatever. But the police came to his house because someone said he was shooting. Oh, see, that might be it. He was using that pew-pew. And so they called the police and stuff. And he's like, look, I know what I did. And I'm going to tell you why I did it. And, you know, it's out there somewhere limping around. And I think it was an Amazon drone that was delivering something to somebody, but it was hovering a little too long for his, you know, he's an older guy. He's a vet. He was explaining everything. He was very nice. Wasn't combative. And he's just like, well, I guess arrest me because, like, I don't know what else I could have done because I didn't know what was going on. Right. So, but with all these I don't know what words I can use. Anyway, terrorist attacks. You don't know what's going on. It can happen anywhere. And I don't know. But anyway, so we'll talk more about the AI things tomorrow. And then I'll upload this to the YouTube hopefully soon and make some shorts out of it and see how they work. I think I use Opus Clips. And for those of you out there, if you can give me, anybody uses that, they can give me a hint, but I think I can search a clip by word. So like it'll search for that word in the transcript and say, okay, we're going to start recording now. So maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do segments and I'll actually say something and then the word and not repeat it. Because I could type in Spain and then so now every time I said that word, it would locate it and make a short out of that. But anyway, off the subject, but it's crazy. I'm going to monitor the situation in Spain, and I just look at it like these things that happen in other countries. These are minor things that are happening in the scope, but it's big for that country. It would be minor for us, but the same thing can happen to us, and we've got to worry about it. Like, we've got a southern border, we got a northern border, and the way they were, it's like us saying, if you come by sea, then you're automatically a citizen. Well, people in Canada are going to find the route that's right from Canada right into America, and then use a boat and go around and land into America on a boat by sea. And same with the southern border. That's all it takes, is to say, okay, well, now you're technically here by sea. Or if they swim one of the rivers into America, they've just swam to America by water. They swam there. So automatic? No. We still need to vet people. We still need to do that. So I think my next thing I'm going to talk about also is the Dr. Fauci. That's coming up because, that's a big deal. So, and a current event. I know that someone suggested something on the TriVirtual group about talking about Iran and things. So I want to touch on that, but that's a lot of moving parts and it's a lot of information. So I'm going to want to make sure I have all my ducks in a row before talking about that. Anyway, that's my spiel. So thank you all for not joining, but hopefully you'll watch later and view it a couple times. But all right. I know I need to get a little more polished on this kind of thing. Devlin usually does, Mr. Harmony does the stuff for TriVirtual. So I'm kind of doing this solo, and it's different. It's difficult. So he does a good job what he does. So, all right, I'll talk to you later, everybody. Have a great and safe day, and God bless America, and thank you. I did hit the finish, by the way. I did.